Start streaming. Should go green. Waiting for that to go green. Yeah, it's green, healthy. Okay. I'm gonna play around with some OSC. OSC is really cool. Open sound control, sending information over the network. You can find out a lot. You'll find this in, I believe it's in IO on the toolbox tab. OSC. Hit F1. You can get documentation on this. And VENTUZ got really good documentation. OSC. So you got your input and your output. You got the time code. It really is so easy to use. It's incredibly easy to use. You can get yeah, it's really good. So let's just use it. So let's create a button and something we want to trigger, and we want to trigger this with OSC. So I'm gonna get Nexus. I'm just gonna make we'll get a rounded rectangle. We'll make a fancy button. We made them many times. This, I'm just gonna round the edges. Round size is bigger. Apply a color, solid. Add texture, base. So I'm gonna change the loader to gradient. Now let's go for this one. Got kind of a textured button here. Just using some colors. I'm gonna add some text on there. So I'm just gonna parent the text, 2D text. Got text. I'll move it a point forward in Z space. Actually, center the text, so I don't have to center the text. Center. Reset the X value there and the Y. That's bang in the center of that button. You can scale it up if you want. And I'll just call that send. So, get a touch button. I'm just going to place it here. Shift that over to the left. I might make a little animation so you can see it's doing something. So mover. I want it to scale down maybe like that. So 0.8 is the minimum. So one shot. 0.8. Oh, it'll be the other way. So maximum is 0.8. Like that, and then I'll just take the scalar and just drop that one. And every time I nudge, and I'll change the duration to like 0.5, so it's a bit quicker. Now, what I'll do is link the mover to the touch button, so take the nudge to there, single tap. I click the button every time. Boom, 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 boom. So we've got a little button there. Cool. I can call this send or something, send. So now we need to say, when you press this, we want to trigger an event here on the other side of the screen. We're doing a local OSC, and then I'll see if I can do it between two different scenes to show you it'll still work. So, what should we make? Let's make another texture. So let's get color, solid color, rectangle, cats, everyone equals cats. a cat and image, it doesn't matter. You can use what you want. I'll just save it to the desktop. Texture, base, get that cat. Where's that cat gone? I'll save the cat somewhere else. Oh no, there it is. You have a cat. So every time I press this, I want this to fly in and fly into the screen. So it will just go. So make a little animation for this. Or then we don't. Do we need to make an animation? Maybe we can get away with just using the mover. So I'll take that current position there. And the max. See, the minimum is like 37 for me. It might be different values for you depending where you press it. I'm just gonna link that. Right now it's on that. I'll just change it to one shot. Turn swing off. Boom. Nah, it's just do it. Let's keyframe it because I don't want it to look like terrible. I'm gonna just keyframe that. So I'll take the X value and we're gonna animate it and show me my timeline. I'm gonna change this to a second like this. Go to set a key. The start is off like this. I'm going to add state. So new state here, new state here. We can rename these states. So if you want, you could call this out cat sent. You can call it whatever you want. Now I'll go here, next, and next, previous takes it out. You know. You might even want to say, well, if you press that send again, what happens? So you could make another logic here. The cat to cat. Now you can just add another key here. Goes back out. Then if I go auto connect. Let's dive into auto connect. I should have just done that. There we go. Cat to cat. Out. Cat sent in. Get out. There we go. I didn't even need to do that manually. Saved me from doing it. It's nice. Okay. That key you'll still need to add in between. Okay, so we've got this. We've got our cat animation. So yeah. Now normally if you link, you'd link it, say you'd say take the button and you'd link this send cat to, you know, like single tap and press it comes in and do this. But say you're not doing this and using the OSC, what we do is get the OSC node. So I'll use the toolbox for now. The OSC, you got inputs and outputs. So we get one of each, input and output. So on the send, so we're sending, so this out, so we're outputting, so the send. So when we press this send, we want to trigger this and send this event to the input, which will trigger off the cat animation. So this output goes to single tap, So now if you see when I click the button, you'll see I'm sending, and I want to trigger this cat send when this event is fired. Now you need to tell it what IP address you're sending to. So these could be on different machines if you wanted. As long as you put the IP address of what that machine is, they're both the same IP address, but it will do it. So I'm doing a local 0.0.1. Oh, 0.0.1. The mains localhost. And the address, I'll just call this, you can call your address anything. So I'm going to call this cat, and make sure you name it the same. So if it's both, if it's all lowercase, make sure that's lowercase. Now I'll say send. It's sending. As I press it, you can see the event is being fired. And you can add different ones, so you can add float, integers, you can send over OSC, you can send quite a few things, and then the same here, the inputs that you're receiving. So you can see now we're triggering, you can see it's triggering here, the OSC, so this node, through the network, without us having to link the nodes, and then it's firing this value. So let's put it into two different scenes. Let's see if I can get VENTUZ to store up twice. So what you would do is, if you have, say, two VENTUZ scenes, two presentations, on two machines, and I've got twice running. I'm just going to see if I can copy and paste between. It might not work. Might work. Oh, it did work. Nice, I don't even have to do that. So I'm going to hide this one. So now I've got two copies of VENTUZ open here. Now you're going to need two runtimes. Or you're going to need, two machines. But here it should work anyway. So when I press send here, you should see the cat trigger in the other VENTUZ presentation. So send. Damn it. Right, let's see, cat. Perhaps they don't do it like this anymore. Before you could have tested it local. The cat. Let me make sure I don't have any conflicts. Then just delete that. So it's receiving, you can see it's actually receiving it. Yeah, it is working. It is receiving the OSC. Maybe it's bugged out, so I'm going to just delete that. Oh, I think it's the animation that's bugged out. It's not the actual OSC node. For some reason, this is bugged out because that wasn't responding. Now it worked. So let's put that back in. Make sure that was called cat. So it is working. So now I'll click here, send. There we go. OSC between two scenes. Now OSC you can use OSC can be sent from different applications, even like from a iPad, or you can get free applications for this on Android and iPad as well. So if you write in OSC in Google, I'll make sure you spell it right, not OCS, whatever they OSC. And there is a few apps. Just write iPad or something. There we go. Touch OSC, Helix OSC. I believe there's a few free versions. And then you can link these events to say trigger a scene in VENTUZ. So if you wanted to say next in a presentation and just have your phone and use next button, previous button to go through a presentation, simple as that. There you go, touch OSC. I mean, the limitation with these applications is you're stuck with the UI. You could build your own UI in another application. Yeah, there's many ways of doing it, but this is probably the easiest ones. Or what you could do is have a VENTUZ presentation on a Windows tablet. So you have a Windows Surface, and you just install VENTUZ, run your presentation, so you can build your touch output. So it could be your touch controls. So this would be sitting on your Windows Surface, and then this could be your main projection on a big video wall or projection, and then this could be your tablet, and then when you press next, then you trigger an event. I've worked on a few projects where I've done OSC, and let's see, I might have examples. How do I go to my channel? How do you go to your channel? I'll see if I can find old examples. I don't know how you find. Let me Google myself. Here we go. If I go to an old project, I tend to use VENTUZ. The OSC a lot. Let's just scroll down. Oh yeah, here we go. Dual setup machine. So these two VENTUZ presentations, two separate machines. And you can see the OSC is being sent, triggers the other event. All the values are being sent across using OSC. So you press that, config. But this scene here can sit on a tablet if you wanted. This is right now on the all-in-one touchscreen machine PC, and this is just a normal monitor connected to another PC, and they're communicating over OSC. It's quite cool, The OSC is really useful. Should have a play with it. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. It can be not only that, it can be values. So if I say let's add a value to that OSC node here. Say integer. I want to send this integer across to this scene here. So here I'll just add integer, and I'm not going to link anything. All I'm just going to do is on this scene, I'm going to just add some text, 2D text, block text, fine. Just position that here. I'm going to change this to where is it? Center extended. I'm going to change this to digits only. Now if I link the block text to the OSC, automatically will link to the integer, and you can say 0. Currently it's receiving 0 from the other OSC node because we are on 0. And if I go here, it might be difficult to see on screen. Let's make this bigger, the window bigger, so you can see it. I'm trying to multitask on one monitor. Right. So this is on 0, so as I change the value now, you can see it's changing. It's sending that value. Not sure why it's firing. It shouldn't have fired that at the same time. Shouldn't be firing the message at the same time, but maybe that is something. But anyway, you can see the value here changing. Let me just fix that width. Not the width, sorry. The spacing, character spacing. There we go. So if I said, okay, I want a slider, let's make a slider in this scene. I'll just make a quick slider. Rounded rectangle. Extend this. This is just a bar for reference in here. Make it a bit more rounded. Make it more thin. Nice. Just gonna get another shape, a circle. I'm going to position that in the same level like that. Color. Let's give the other one a color as well. Just control and drag, so I've got two colors. Make this orange or something. Yeah, that'll do. So we've got this, and we want to drag. We want this to drag. So I want to add a touch translation node. So if I go to interaction, touch translation, or transformation, or translate. Is it translation? Yeah, touch translation. We use touch translation. And in the properties, I want to set some limits. So here I'm going to activate the limits. So the min and the max. So the y, we don't want to move it in the y position. So I'm going to say 0 on the y. I'm going to increase the, let's say minus 10. So if I drag minus 10, and then it'll be, of course, the opposite way would be 10. There we go. So I've got minus 10 to 10, and you can see the output here. Minus 10 to 10. Really simple. And say I want to convert that value. So I'm going to send, where is it? I want to get a clipping node like this, and say, well, the input is coming from the X value. So on the clipping node here, you can see I'm getting minus 10 to 10. So if I put in minus, make sure you type in the right one, minus 10 to 10, and I want to convert from 0 to 100, so 100. So output 0 to 100. So when I drag that, you'll see here the output value 0 to 100, 0, 100. And I'll take that integer and link it to the clipping node. Now you see I'm sending, the slide is sending 0 to 100. Hopefully that makes sense. And now if I go back into here and adjust my slider, you can see now it corresponds with the slider position. 100, 0. And the button still works. See? Of course, we have, what I could do is as well, if I copied that and paste it, I'll just disconnect that. So now I could call this, so that's cat, and I could just say call cat1 and relink that cat sent to this one. So I've got two OSCs, so that one's called cat1. That will just do this. And then this one I have to adjust as well. So if I copy this, and I'll just disconnect the single tap here and change this to cat1 and change the center there, single tap. So now I've got two different OSC nodes, cat and cat1. Cat1 sends the value for the slider like this, and then cat1 sends the event like this, and cat sends the slider value. But you should be able to, you can send multiple events from one node. But it's cool. OSC node's really cool. You should experiment with it. Try play with it. Hopefully that was useful. That made sense. It's really hard to show you on one screen, but hopefully you get the idea, the basics. Short stream to end on a Sunday. Bye.